And we'll also talk about, the latest crazy earthquake, because you guys know that before the beginning of Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. We're going to get the ET reveal soon, I believe, and it'll be, not like what anyone ever thought. Of course, there's most of us already understand there's ETs here and so forth, but there's unfortunately a very large segment of the population that is still unaware that we are not the only ones here in this massive universe, this beautiful universe, right? So the little wake up call comes, and then once that wake up call comes, and people get over their shock, then it's gonna be like, oh, of course I always knew there were ETs. That's alrighty then, and so that's coming. I've seen that coming soon. All right, so we'll talk about that, and we'll also talk about the latest crazy earthquake, because you guys know that before the beginning of this year, I said there were going to be massive earthquakes, massive tsunamis, and massive volcanic activity. So we've seen almost all of those. All right, we've seen a very close massive earthquake, but we have one that's coming. Multiple actually that are coming that will be much, much bigger, that will cause massive tsunami, a tsunami that will probably hammer the west coast of the United States, right? And I think there's also tsunamis coming for the east coast as well. So we'll see this start to happen. The 2012 time frame where everybody thought the world was going to end. It didn't end because we were going to basically raise our consciousness enough to be able to handle all of the things, earth changes that are coming, right? So it was basically delayed. So now we're in that period where consciousness is at a point where it can handle the extreme, trauma that's coming. There's many of us that have been in traumatic situations. I've been in combat zones for a big portion of my life, so not much is going to hurt me. But a lot of you guys, it might be a little impactful. And the impactfulness, because you spent the last 5 years, going through trauma. The COVID trauma was extreme. We look back on 9/11, that was extreme, but COVID trauma was more. And now we're going to have ET disclosure, massive earthquakes and tsunamis and volcanic activity. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be really crazy. And that's right. Wakey, wakey. Mikey, Jakey. Good one. All right. So that's one of the things we're looking forward to, the awakening process. Of course, if you're intuitive, you're going to be good, I think, right? If you're intuitive, you're tapped into God. You don't dwell in fear and anger and so forth. You're gonna be good to go, right? So those people that aren't, they're gonna have their little experiences in the big cities, and that's just gonna be what they want, So don't get wrapped up in God, right? So those people that aren't, they're gonna have their little experiences in the big cities, and that's just gonna be what they want, So don't get wrapped up in it. All right, let's look at some of the things that have been going on. So shortly after that massive earthquake,